So, good morning. I'm Reverend Cindy Shellum, and I'm going to be leading meditation this morning. Our topic in the service today is the thing itself, which is part of our basic series on the principles of science of mind. And I asked the speaker what things she's emphasizing, and she said faith in the way that it overcomes fear and takes care of our fear of lack and such. And so I'm just going to see how that inspires what we do today. So the first thing that is a really great start to any meditation is breathing. Taking in the deep breath, letting it out. Knowing that the breath itself is a physical representation of how God lives in us and we live in God. That breath comes in and out. It's part of us. We are part of it. And it happens naturally, whether we are conscious or not of the breathing. And so what we attempt to do in our spiritual work is allow ourselves to be more conscious of the spiritual beings that we are, more conscious of that which makes us up, more conscious of that which flows in us and as us. So we just take this time to breathe into that idea, to allow our bodies to go into their self-sustaining activity, to settle themselves, to relax themselves, allowing shoulders to drop, fingers and toes to wiggle, loosening the tongue to let the throat relax, dropping the ears, let the scalp relax. And know that the body is taking care of itself while we focus consciously on that which I refer to as spirit, God, Allah, omnipotent being, cosmic consciousness. It has so many, many terms, but what it is that very thing itself that empowers and creates the entire universe, that from which all comes, that which is beyond description, except as we describe what it is doing, except as we describe how we are feeling as it powers our lives. So resting into that, resting into the idea that we are part of something that is beyond description, beyond explanation, that creates what we see and that which we do not see, that from which what we see emanates, that which had the spark of an idea that became each and every one of us. Unique, individual, filled with an allness, a wholeness, an energy, vitality, compassion, a joy that knows no bounds. As I take a moment to really, really lift that idea into my highest conscious concept, a glimmer of what we each truly are, a glimmer of the potential and the possibility that is held within each of us, my own potential and possibility. Speaking for each of us, mine flickers in my consciousness. Let that feeling, let that image, that idea of the allness that you are sink into the body. Travel through it. Discover it. Admire its function. its amazingness, its adaptability, its flexibility, its strength. Let this image, this flickering idea of all the possibility each and every one of us is, grow and expand in the mental realm. Realizing immediately that that realm lives way outside our skulls. It lives within us and it emanates from us, and we are surrounded in it. As we identify this significant aspect of who we are, amazing bodies, minds that extend beyond our physical boundaries, it is easier to slip into the idea of what spiritual beings we are. To begin to find that point of oneness, that point where the individual is a part of something larger, and all the while something greater and larger is condensed and empowered into the individual. Is the drop a part of the ocean, or is the ocean made up of the drops? Does it matter? And entering this space, it is so much easier to recognize that there is nothing to fear. There is no lack. There is nothing that can cause disharmony where harmony reigns. There is nothing that can cause darkness where light appears. There is nothing that can create fear where faith lives. For when you are part of something so much greater, so much larger than any divisions, any appearances, all is well. So let's just sit for a moment with that sense that all is well, and so well that it can be no other way. Remembering to breathe. Remember, we are more than we understand, more than we can define, more than any appearance. And I feel the sun come out to shine into my closed eyes and just reinforce God is present always, in all ways, in every moment, in every circumstance, shining its light. And as we are part of something greater, we ourselves are greater than we understand. We have potential beyond any dream. Every dream is a spark to what Spirit knows is already in place, already possible, already available to express through us. What's your dream? What is the unfanned spark? This is the very essence of the thing itself, God as itself. Indescribable, beyond measure, beyond time, beyond space, and yet the base and core and creative center of all. The thing itself, the principle, from which principles come. As part of that wholeness, as part of that power, as part of that presence, what it could be in our lives can be. What we could be, we can be. What we can be, we already are. Take a moment to expand your concept of self, an actual image that stretches so far beyond the physical. Let's use this expanded self. Let's create a pond. Beautiful pond of receptivity. And if we find anything blocking this expansive idea of self, any fear, any lack of forgiveness, any sense of rejection or loneliness or separation, find these obstacles. Give them an image and drop them in the pond of receptivity, where they become the nothingness they are. Grab all the shouldas, the wouldas, and the couldas, drop them in there. Drop the concept of polarization, politicization, all of it. Anything that has felt disagreeable and uncomfortable, drop it in this pond of receptivity. Grab all the veils that get in our way, that cause us to see with anything but true, pure eyes. Drop them in there and watch them disintegrate. Remember this pond and remember its presence within us. This ability to stretch beyond ourselves, become larger in our own concept than we normally see ourselves, and be able to reach this place, be able to find this pond and drop in all those things that don't belong in our capital R reality, that are not part of our capital T truth. And now take a moment to just draw that huge sense of self, that idea of being beyond description, beyond understanding, and let it drop back in to the physical presence that we carry our wonderful spiritual selves within. These amazing containers that we are allowed to experience this world in, with these amazing senses with which we see the evidence of God at work. Draw it back in. Anchor the idea, the memory of these moments so they can be called on in a flash, in that single breath of rest before reaction, so that the highest, the brightest, the best of ourselves is always at hand, always available. The wholeness of the drop in the ocean that we are is always ours. Draw deeper into the present moment. Sunday morning, time for gathering and sharing, caring for one another, energizing, renewing. We are here for that. As you draw deeper into the present moment, into the container space, breathe some more. Draw in the relaxation. And allow yourself to return fully and present in this space, in this time, but always remembering how great you are.